Aloha and welcome to Upside Down Pilates. In today's lesson, we're going to take a look at posture. So let's first take a look at Herman and see what a neutral posture would be for our body. We're just going to do a side view today. So if you look at Herman sideways, ideally as we stand, we want our ankles to be right underneath our knees and our knees directly underneath our hips and our hips tilted in a neutral pelvis, which is where your two hip bones and your pubic bone are flat across the top in this plane, and then your ASIS and your PSIS, or your anterior superior iliac spine and your posterior superior iliac spine, are flat across in this plane, okay? And that allows your lower back to have a natural lordotic curve, and then your upper back in your thoracic spine to have a natural kyphotic curve, and then also another little curve here in your neck. Your shoulder joint should be stacked right on top of your hip joint, and your head should be stacked right on top of your shoulders. Unfortunately, this doesn't happen very often in real life. We have all sorts of interesting postures that we come up with that wreak havoc on our bodies, and that's why I teach Pilates, to help people learn how to adjust these postures that they have. So let's take a look at some of the ladies we have here today and learn about what kind of postures they have. Let's give a go with Eileen first. Come on up here, Miss Eileen. And let's have you turn sideways. If we look at Eileen, starting down at the bottom here, we can see she has, her ankle joint isn't too bad, and her knee joint isn't too bad. If anything, it's a little bent, wouldn't you say, Eileen? Little bent, yeah. And then her hip, she kind of has a little posterior tilt, so she flattens out her lower back just a little bit. And her upper back is pretty flat up here. And then her shoulders are actually pretty close to on top of her hips, though. She's evened that out a bit. Practice, probably. And her head goes just, you can see here's her shoulder and here's her ear, is just a little bit forward, but not too bad, okay? So those are the types of things that Eileen has going on in her body, and when she's doing her Pilates exercises, she makes little adjustments so that she can start to correct some of those, and then she knows where she needs a pillow, or if she needs to sit on top of a pillow to aid in her lower back to find her neutral pelvis while she's working. All right, thank you. Nicole, hop on up here. We look at Nicole sideways. We can start down at the bottom, and her ankles are plantar flexed or pointed a little bit, and her knees are hyperextended backwards, just a little bit, not too bad. And then if you look at her lower back, here she has actually a big old lordosis back here. So her hips kind of tilt backwards a little bit, and bring your arms forward a little bit there. And you can see how this is a little bit excessive down in here. So what she would need to do is pull her belly button in a little bit to help even that out. But go back to your regular posture. And her rib cage shifts a little bit back in space, and there's a little curve here, but probably could be a little bit more. And if you look, her shoulders are slightly forward, and we can go into a whole bunch of information in the shoulder girdle, but they're just a little bit rounded forward. And then her earlobe, again, is actually, well, it's in line with her shoulder, but the whole thing is a little bit in front of her rib cage. But I would say her rib cage is pulled back just a little bit. Thank you. And now Malia has the world's most typical dance posture possible. This is what dancers do to their bodies, whether they know they're doing it or not, through our training. She has hyperextended knees, which she can hyperextend more. Show us how back. Look at those knees. She can go backwards in space with those knees. And these are, again, plantar flexed or pointed. She has a nice kyphosis back here, so her pelvis is tipped forward. And her thoracic spine is flatter than a pancake. There's supposed to be, again, that little curve backwards in your upper back. Hers actually goes forwards this direction, and then her head shifts forwards from her shoulders. So these are lined up, but they actually should be probably both back here. and her cervical spine is actually pretty flat. So it takes the tension right here and her head goes forward. All right, thank you. And we'll be back after a short break. Welcome back. Let's take a moment and explore our own posture, ladies. Go ahead and stand tall and close your eyes. And just take a moment here and notice where your weight settles on your feet. Is your weight a little more forward or a little more backwards? Is it more to the inside of your foot or to the outside of your foot? And bring your attention up towards your knees. Notice if they're locked back, if they're slightly bent, if you're holding any tension in those knees. And bring your attention up into your hips now. And notice how they feel. Do they feel crunched in the front? Or do they feel pulling down in the back? And bring your mind's eye up into your center and notice your lower back. Are you holding tension there? And notice your abdominals. Are you holding tension there? Bring your awareness into your rib cage now. See what's happening there. And as you breathe, remember you're allowing the breath to move out sideways through your rib cage. Go up into your shoulders and feel the relationship of your shoulders to your head. And notice what you feel in the back of your neck through that relationship. And now shoot all your thoughts out through the top of your head and feel tall. And go back down into your feet and notice if this awareness has shifted the weight onto your feet from where you began. Notice where it is now. Good. And open your eyes. Wonderful. Go ahead and lie down onto your back now. And we're going to explore our lower back, the lordosis in our lower back. So everyone needs to have a bit of a natural curve in our lower back. This isn't something we want to flatten out in our posture. It ends up with bulging discs or ruptured discs or herniated discs. All sorts of things happen in the low back when we flatten it out too much. So take a moment and you can have your eyes open or closed, whatever you choose to do, but just shift your pelvis back and forth, allowing your lower back to go down to the mat and then arching your lower back as far off from the mat as you can. And just go back and forth in a gentle little rock here. And as you're doing this, try and release in between your shoulder blades. And notice what happens in your head. It's ideal that your skull will start to rock back and forth, feeling the connection all the way from your tailbone all the way out through the top of your head. And if it's not moving, see if you have any areas between your tail and your head that may be contracted. And bring your pelvis back into neutral. So remember, that's where your two hip bones and pubic bone are flat across the top. You have your natural curve in your lower back. Your rib cage is gliding down and in. Let's take a nice deep inhale through our nose. And now as you exhale, go to imprint or 12 o'clock. Feel your belly hollow and suction cup down. Good. And now inhale, come back into a nice neutral. And go again. Exhale. Hollow from your very deep low belly down. And good. Come back into neutral. Go again. Big breath out through the mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Beautiful, ladies. And come back into neutral. One more time. Big exhale. Good. And rock your pelvis back into neutral. Let's do some little marches now. What we'll do is after you exhale, you'll roll your pelvis into your imprint, and then you're gonna lift up a leg. And as you lift up one leg, try and allow the other side to stay still. Try not to let it shift around and do any hula dancing on us, okay? Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, hollow your belly down and into your 12 o'clock or your imprint. Stay here, take a deep inhale. Exhale, pick up your right leg. Keep your belly button hollowed down and your lower back reaching to the ground. Good, take a big breath here. And exhale, place it down. Good, deep inhale. Exhale, hollow your belly button down, pick up the other leg. Good, deep inhale. And exhale, hollow your belly and place it down. Good, let's go back to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, go back into 12 o'clock. Lower back reaches to the ground. It may not touch, but reach it down. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, belly button goes down. Try the left leg now first. Pick up the left. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull the abdominals in. Bring the left one down. Keep the lower back reaching to the ground. Deep inhale. Exhale, pull the tummy down. Pick up the right. Keep the belly hollowed. Deep inhale. And exhale, place it down. Good, and rest. Welcome back. Let's take a look at our upper back now, or our thoracic spine. So Malia, actually, if you would come up to seated and face sideways for us so we can take a look. Like we were talking about earlier, Malia has a nice flat upper back. And this next exercise that we're going to do, it will help her to stretch this area out while strengthen the front area out as she keeps her pelvis in neutral. So this is, for me and for her, extremely challenging. Still challenging for everyone else, but I found this one just miserable, so I hope you all enjoy it. All right, lie down, and what you're going to do is find your pelvis in neutral, okay? And your goal is to keep your pelvis in neutral, and now we're not going to let it rock backwards and let your lower back touch the ground. You're going to try and keep your tailbone down, okay? Arms are down by your sides. Take a deep inhale and allow your chin to go down just a little bit. Now, as you breathe out, you're going to fold forward and reach your arms forward just enough so that you can come up off from the ground, look at your knees, but keep your tailbone down. So give it a go. Good. Now, notice again if your tailbone is down. So there you go. Stick your tush out towards the ground a bit more and get more flexion right up here at your rib cage. I find this fun. Shall we stay here a few more seconds, ladies? Take a deep inhale and lower back down. Reach out through your fingertips as you lower down. Good. Notice if your lower back has changed. If it has, bring it back into neutral. Let's go again. Inhale. Draw your chin down just slightly. Don't tuck it in, but just draw it down a little bit. Now, big exhale, you're going to fold forward, and you're emphasizing the work right at your rib cage. Reach your arms forward. Try not to round your shoulders forward. Just glide them straight down. Take a deep breath. Make sure your tailbone is touching the ground. And exhale, go back down. Beautiful. Let's go again. Draw your chin down just slightly. Feel the back of your neck reach out and away. Now breathe out. Scoop the shoulders down, fold forward. Now if you're like Malia and I, you can feel a big stretch at your upper middle back here. Take a nice deep inhale and lower down. Let's do 2 more of these. Deep inhale, chin goes down, neck goes long. Exhale, shoulders slide down to your hips. Keep your lower back in a beautiful neutral. This is just wonderful over here, Eileen. Take a breath. She needs to practice her neutral. And lower down so her lower back stays with a little arch. 1 more. Deep inhale, chin goes down and long. Big breath out, fold forward. I thought it would be fun to stay up here now and do a few reaches forward. How about 10 of them? Reach forward as you exhale. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Notice you're doing this with your ribs and not your chin. 6, 7, smile, Malia. 8, 9, 10. Deep inhale, reach forward more. Good job. And lower down, breathe out. Excellent. Okay, flip on over to your bellies, and you ladies, let your heads face that direction. And yep, Eileen, you can just flip there. For now, bring your hands to the outsides of your mat and bring your forehead down And let's actually separate your legs and turn them out. Good. Now, right here, pull your belly button up and in. We're gonna focus on your upper middle back. So Malia will be good at this one, and Nicole won't be as good at this one. See how I know these things already? It's fun. Okay, keep pressing your hamstrings down so that your hips do not pike. Roll your shoulders down and back. Reach out through the crown of your head and come up in a little half extension forward. Good. Stay here a minute. Pull your belly button in and see if you can get neutral pelvis in your low back and feel all the work at your upper middle back extensors. Good. Deep breath. Now exhale. You're going to fold forward but close at your ribs as you go forward. Feel them pull up and inside of you as you go down. Good. Nice job, ladies. Again, deep breath. Glide your shoulders down. Reach out and exhale, come up. Feel your shoulder blades opening but not pinching together. Reach your elbows to the ground more. Deep inhale. And now exhale, go down. Close from your ribs. Good. Again, deep breath. Shoulders go down and back. Head reaches out and away. Come on up. Breathe out. Deep breath, long. And lower down. One more time. Roll your shoulders down and back. Reach out through the crown of your head. Come on up. And let's stay and do 10 little extensions backwards. Here we go. Exhale, 1 and 2 and 3. Shoulders down more, 4. Pull your tummy in more, 5. Smiling. 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Take a breath and lower down and rest. Good work, ladies. Welcome back. Let's put it all together and line up our posture a little bit better, hopefully. Go ahead and lengthen your legs out, ladies. Bring your feet flexed and allow your arms to reach up to the ceiling. Palms face in. Good. Double check your shoulders. Make sure they're down your back but not pinching together. And double check your rib cage. Make sure it's reaching down and not flying up and out to the ceiling. Take a nice deep inhale. Now as you breathe out, press to your heels and just lift your hips right off. While you're here, you can feel the connection of your hamstrings, your lower back, your abdominals, all working to stabilize you. Take a deep inhale and lower down. Let's go for 10. We'll exhale on the way up and inhale on the way down. Deep breath, prepare. Exhale, lift the hips by pressing to the heels. And inhale, lower down. And exhale, lift the hips. This is 3. Try and stay in parallel if possible. It's more fun. And lower down. Inhale. And exhale, 4. And lower down. And exhale, 5. And lower down. Good job. Exhale, 6. And lower down. And exhale, 7. And lower down. 3 more with gusto. 8. It looks like you're not doing anything. Lower down. It's so easy. And 9. Lower down. That got them smiling. One more time. And 10. Shall we stay here for a minute? I am just kidding. Lower down. Good. Go ahead, bring your knees into your chest and rest for just a second. So that's a fantastic exercise to get your natural curves of your spine lined up by engaging your hamstrings and your abdominals equally. Alrighty, let's flip on to our bellies. Let your heads go down that way and you can just flip right over. And we're gonna do the torpedo. So we're gonna extend backwards, but you're not really going to make a big arch with your back. You're just gonna shoot out to one long line, okay? Bring your arms down by your sides and let your palms face up to the ceiling. Your forehead is touching down onto the mat and your shoulders are actually rounded forward right now. So let them hang out on the mat. Good. Squeeze your legs together tight and point your toes and press your hips down to the mat. So you wanna make sure there's not a pike in your hip. Okay, so your hips are open wide, so your hamstrings are already working. Deep breath, roll your shoulders back and put your hands at your hips, palms face in. Yeah. Good. Keep your arms straight though. Yeah. And now as you exhale, scoop your ribs down and shoot your head forward and try and hover your upper body off from the ground just a little bit. It's delightful if you do it well. So again, we're not extending, we're shooting out. Take a breath and lower down. And allow your shoulders to round and let your palms hang down. Good. That was so fun. Let's do it again. Squeeze those legs tight, press the hips down. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, hands reach to your toes by your hips. Now exhale, shoot your head out, pull your belly in, scoop your ribs down. Make sure you didn't pike your tush up, keep pressing your hamstrings down. Oh, I saw that. Deep breath, and lower down. Good job, we only have 3 more. Roll those shoulders back. Press your hands backwards, inhale, exhale. Shoot your heads forward, shoot your toes away. Bellies are in, deep breath, and lower down. Go again. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, hands reach back. Exhale, shoot the head forward. Good. Deep breath, and lower down. One more, ladies. Roll those shoulders back, hands reach back. Exhale, shoot out, feel long. Feel your belly connect to your hamstrings. Feel your head reach away from your toes and your fingers reach back to your toes. And lower down. Excellent. Go into a little bit of a child's pose. Bring your pelvis back to your heels or flip on over to your back and your knees into your chest and let that release out. Good.